Hi everybody, this is Boogest Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Gold Label Michael Keaton Batman figure. This is the Batman figure that came with the Batmobile, but I have an extremely small review space here, so I'm just going to be reviewing Batman. So the only accessory that he comes with is his base, and he does benefit from using that because he constantly wants to fall over. I don't know if it's just mine, but mine does not want to stand. His ankles are kind of angled. No matter what I do, his ankles are always kind of leaning a little bit. As you can see, his ankles are leaning this way just a little bit. So it makes it a little tricky to get him to stand. So he does benefit from using the stand in this case. So now let's go ahead and take a look at the head sculpt. So taking a look at this head sculpt, I think McFarlane Toys did a phenomenal job at capturing Michael Keaton's likeness. I know it's really just the eyes and the mouth since the cowl's covering most of the face, but I really think this looks like Michael Keaton's Batman. I think McFarlane Toys did a very good job on this, which is kind of odd because that unmasked head sculpt for the Flash movie, that was a rough likeness. But yeah, they definitely got the mouth right on this one. I think this head sculpt looks very, very nice. The mask is slightly inaccurate though. Michael Keaton's Batman mask, the head and the neck were all one piece, and he really had hardly any movement here in the mask. I've seen people saying that they wanted this to be all one piece, which that would have been accurate, but that would have hindered the articulation. The NECA version actually did have a head and neck that was all one piece, but it looked very weird for photos and stuff, whereas this one, you can actually move it to the side, and it looks fine. So, although this isn't quite accurate, I do prefer this cut right here, because the articulation on this is a lot better than on the NECA one. The Bat logo is done in gold. If I remember right, it's actually like a bright yellow color. I think the 6-pack Michael Keaton Batman figure actually has a plain yellow logo there. The same color of gold is also done on the belt, and that is accurate. The sculpt to his suit is just very, very well done. It has some texturing to it. If you look, it has some really weird texturing here on the chest. You can see the kind of like swirls in the plastic. That is a little bit odd. That's not the texture I was talking about though. He has some very slight texturing to his suit, and it looks very nice. I think McFarlane Toys did a very awesome job on this. He has a soft goods cape, and it looks really good. Though now that I'm holding it up to the light, you can see straight through it. I did not notice that. You can see the window in the background in my finger. That is the first time that I noticed that. And it does drape nicely on the figure. You can actually get it to go over top of his arms like in the movie, but it's kind of tricky to do. It's kind of a thin material, so if you pull it too much, it could fray it, but you'll have to lift up the edges of the cowl here and then get it to the front here. I did do it before this review, but it has since went back to that. So yeah, if you did want to drape it over his shoulders, it is possible. You just have to lift the edges of this up and pull this forward. I do think it's odd that McFarlane Toys chose not to include any alternate hands with this figure. He's just stuck with these fisted hands, so if you do want to put him in the Batmobile, you can't even get him holding the steering wheel properly. So that is kind of odd. I don't know if there are any other Batman figures that have these colored hands that fit on here. I tried popping the hands off, but they're not meant to pop off. If I boil this, they'll definitely pop off, but I don't know if I have any alternate hands that would fit on here and look right for an open hand. Another odd thing is he has gray knees. It's a different type of plastic used for the knee joints. That's been done on previous figures in the past. But yeah, it does look kind of odd on this one because of the flat black and then these gray parts here on the knees. I suppose if you hold it back here, the trunks, this trunk piece right here is kind of also a grayish color as well. And then he has some really nice sculpt detailing to his boots. So now let's go ahead and go over his articulation. He has a ball-jointed head that can look up all the way. He can look down just a little bit. He can move his head side to side. He has ball-jointed shoulders that can move out that far. The right side does move out a little more than the left. He has a very nice butterfly joint here. He has swiveled bicep, double-jointed elbow that can bend in all the way, wrists that can move up and down and spin all the way around. He has a ball-jointed waist and diaphragm that can move back all the way, and he can crunch forward a decent amount. I was actually surprised by that. So he does have some increased ability to crunch forward, unlike some previous McFarlane figures. So hopefully they're going to start using whatever type of joint this is that allows for some more articulation on the rest of their figures, because that's some pretty nice articulation there. He can move side to side here, side to side at the waist. He has hips that can do a complete split. He can kick forward all the way, but it does get a little tight. He can kick back all the way. He barely has any thigh swivel. He has a double jointed knee that can move back all the way, and ankles that can move down all the way, up all the way, and spin all the way around. Oh, and toe articulation. This toe articulation is very tight though, and I don't like to move that. So yeah, I did forget about that part. So now, let's do some size comparisons. So first up, here he is next to the NECA video game Batman figure. It uses the same mold as the regular Batman. This one is just done in the bright colors of the video game. Here he is next to the Flash. Here he is next to Christian Bale's Batman. And finally, here he is next to the last Ben Affleck Batman figure that we got. So overall, despite the flaws that it does have, I do think McFarlane Toys did a really good job on this figure. I'm going to be totally honest, the only reason that I really bought the Batmobile was to get this Michael Keaton Batman figure. I like the look of it better than the 6-pack version. Now that I have the Batmobile in hand, it is very, very big. I honestly think it's too big for my collection. So hopefully at some point in the future, McFarlane Toys releases this figure as a single release. I could see him redoing this as a gold label single release to like Target with a bunch of different hands, maybe his grapnel gun. That would be very nice, because I think this figure is very awesome, but I don't know if I'd justify spending the price to get the Batmobile and him. So that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.